A growing body of evidence suggests that Alzheimer's disease may be 2 to 3 times higher among older African Americans than in older non-Hispanic whites. Now, a Boston hospital is enrolling people to participate in a promising new clinical trial. But as Jessica Brown explains, recruitment in communities of color is a challenge.
My paternal grandmother lived with Alzheimer's for nearly 10 years.
That's Zoe Ford with her dad and his mom. She died in December at age 95.
We certainly had many struggles. It's like you're watching them turn from somebody that you knew very well to somebody that has no idea who you are when you walk in the room sometimes, as they just so desperately want to remember and they can't.
Nearly 6 million Americans have Alzheimer's disease. Experts believe that number could double to 12 million by 2050. At highest risk, communities of color. Black people are twice as likely as their white peers to develop the disease. For Hispanics, the risk is 1.5 times higher.
Follow with your eyes.
Alzheimer's appears to run in families. To diagnose the disease, doctors use brain scans like this one to identify buildup of a protein called amyloid. But often these scans aren't done until symptoms of memory loss have already appeared.
And I'm going to move them around.
A new clinical trial nicknamed the AHEAD study hopes to identify those patients as much as 20 years earlier using both biological risk factors and brain scans. The goal? To intervene with a drug called lecanemab that may slow or even stall the disease.
We know that this is a promising and safe drug that can be monitored.
Dr. Seth Gale runs the trial site at Brigham and Women's Hospital, and he says lecanemab has shown it can remove amyloid from the brain.
And we're trying to see if you do that early, if we can demonstrate that changes of thinking and memory are different than the placebo arm of the study.
But recruiting a diverse population of participants is challenging. For the AHEAD study, researchers hope to enroll about 1,400 people. About 15% should be people of color. But so far, the number of Black Americans in the study is less than 5%.
We haven't been super successful. It's been a challenge for our site for this study. It's a challenge nationally for research.
Donna Walker recently applied.
If there's any kind of drugs or anything like that that will help prevent it, I want to be a part of that.
She found out about the study through a community program in Dorchester. She's 66 years old and healthy, but she still worries about Alzheimer's in her family. Her mother and grandmother both had the disease.
I don't want to have to go through that.
Zoe understands her pain, but also the potential for this new drug. She now works as a research assistant, explaining the study to anyone who's interested.
I talked to them about what it was like, seeing my grandmother and what this means to me to be here. So I have a very strong connection to this work, and it makes it all the more important for me to be recruiting people that look like me into these studies.
Well, to join the study, you must be a healthy, non-smoking adult between the ages of 55 and 80. You can find the other requirements posted on our WCVB website and, of course, on our app. For CityLine, I'm Jessica Brown.
And joining me now in the studio is neurologist Seth Gale. He is leading the team of cutting-edge researchers at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Dr. Gale, why do you believe more Black Americans suffer from Alzheimer's, and are their symptoms more severe?
So this is a good question. So what we know is that medical conditions like high blood pressure, cholesterol, and things that we know are more prevalent in the Black community are themselves independent risk factors for Alzheimer's. So when you combine that over time, the risk is increased.
Are Black patients more likely to receive a delayed diagnosis?
Yes, and this has been well studied and a big problem. And there's solutions are being worked on. One of them is education and awareness in the community of providers to understand and to recognize this early.
Mm-hmm. So you're well aware that there's been historic unethical medical research involving African Americans that has led too many African Americans to hesitate to participate in these types of studies and research. How do you want to break that pattern and get people into this situation?
So that's a extremely important point, and it's a long journey to do that, and it's challenging. And I think explicit acknowledgement and awareness of that is probably the best way to do it. At the Brigham and our research team and a bunch of research teams in different fields, we have partnerships with community-based organizations that are long term, and the idea is to do this together. This is not, this is a different era of medical research, and we're trying to promote it. And,
So it is very important for people of color to be represented in studies like these. So describe who a good candidate might be.
So this study is recruiting people who are age 55 and up, older individuals who have normal memory for age, and that can be determined as part of this study. And the idea is to try to identify those individuals to intervene with a medication many years before symptoms arise.
So if you already begun to display symptoms, would you still be able to be a part of the study?
So that's a great question. Not this study, but there's plenty of studies to be involved in if you already have symptoms. And even if you don't have a diagnosis or it hasn't been discussed, that your cognitive difficulties or memory difficulties can be determined as part of screening for a trial. So anyone who's interested.
And what would participants have to do? What's the time commitment? What's involved?
So this study is a 4 to 4.5 year study, so it's not a small commitment, but it involves coming into the Brigham and Women's Hospital, having pictures taken of the brain, memory tests are done, and patients are going to get medication by IV in the arm once every month or so for 4 years. So after the initial visits to screen and enroll in the study, the commitment is about once a month over 4 to 4.5 years.
That is very important.
It is.
Very important, even though it's a big time commitment.
It's extremely important. The only way to advance knowledge about Alzheimer's disease is participation in clinical research, number one. And number two, in the particular recruitment of individuals from different racial and ethnic backgrounds is paramount. The goal of health is to come up with treatments, interventions, and care for everyone. And everyone needs to be represented. And this is not happening to date in medical research, and it needs to change.
All right, Dr. Seth Gale, thank you for being here to tell us about this. Now, if you'd like to take part in the AHEAD study, you can fill out the pre-screener questionnaire at aheadstudy.org, or you can call 857-307-0345. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at CityLine 5, and you can follow me on Twitter at Karen Holmes Ward. Have a great afternoon.